how to relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
I got you, buddy. I hear you perfectly fine. Shucks. Yeah, Crash is good. Everyone calls me Crash. That's the way to do it. Easy beat. Coke. Well, North American way to say it. Yeah, just say Coke. That works. But just call me Crash. I know you're talking about me now.
So Sir Mike Knight goes, I can't hear Rhev at all. And thank you, Mike. I think I've got it sorted now. I'm an idiot. Is that your Discord that's banooping, or is that mine?
I think that's yours.
Oh, boy.
You shouldn't hear anything through my headset. I have it only through my phones right now. Actually, here's a test. If you can hear music right now,
No.
you hear me? Okay, then it's not mine. It's yours.
Well, that's weird. I got Discord muted. Let me see if maybe it's Skype or wouldn't be Ankbot. I don't know. Well,
Sure, because if you heard it through my end, you'd hear. Yeah, if you were hearing my audio, you'd be hearing yourself as well. Like here.
well, do I do song requests? Not right now, not during the podcast, but during some games, Scotty, we do song requests. Like if it makes sense. Like if I'm playing Hearthstone or the Elder Scrolls Legends, yes. But right now, no song requests. All right, so hopefully we got everything fixed.
Sorry, Rhev, I'm really sorry to do this, but Welsh Skipper just came into the chat. And that's the thing that I always do when Welsh Skipper comes in the chat. You may want to turn the volume down on your end. Hello! Welsh Skipper! How you doing, buddy?
Well, I have to.
There we go, buddy.
I have to say, I did turn down the audio. I did turn down the audio during that. Hopefully, we haven't deafened everyone.
I turned away from the mic because I have my OBS set up where I have a compressor and everything on OBS, so I don't get the spikes. I'm not sure how yours is set up, so I can be as loud as I want or as quiet, and it's always sounds pretty much the same on mine. But so I could yell that, and it's all good. There we go, Kappa, well, Skipper.
Yeah. So I am also getting a lot of feedback that you're coming through. Your microphone is really distorted, like especially when you're talking. It's coming out real. I don't know.
Just turned it down a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that might be. You know how this is. So I always say, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, the hardest part about streaming to me is balancing the goddamn audio.
You know what? Every single stream, no matter what stream it is, I spend about 15 minutes afterwards just going picking random parts through the stream and listening to make sure my audio is balanced and that I'm not clipping at all. If I'm a little bit distorted on your stream, yeah, let's see here.
Whatever you did, it already sounds better, by the way.
See, on my OBS, I have clipping set up. I have everything set up perfectly so that I don't get that clipping. But since I don't have it on your end,
yeah,
it's on my mixer.
Sorry.
No worries, buddy. Actually, I can hear you and me about the same in my headset right now, so that's about good.
All right, good. I think we've got it to the point where it's pretty tough. Like I said, the clipping definitely went down. All right, guys, listen. This is what happens when you have two professional streamers like Crash and myself. You just like, let's just go. And, this is what happens when you get live television, in a sense.
Exactly.
And if those of you who haven't, I can't imagine, because I've shouted you out of my channel quite a few times, but if you haven't, please do me a favor and go check out Crash. Here's a shout out for his link there. Last playing PUBG.
PUBG. I mix it all up now and then. PUBG sometimes, and I used to, when I started, it was just Destiny for like a year. And then it's, Destiny started dying off. I started to lose interest in it, and I could tell in my streams that my streams weren't getting as interesting because it was just like, man, this is kind of boring, right? And so I decided to switch it up, and ever since then, it's been a heck of a lot better. So, a lot more interesting.
I have to tell you, I am an MMO addict. Like, right now, I'm not playing any MMOs seriously, but it is like the sweet siren song drug that always calls to me. So I feel you. I feel you with the Destiny. And it's not entertaining other than people who specifically love that MMO. It's very hard to watch people playing an MMO, isn't it?
It is, and what I noticed that when I was streaming as well. It's like I'd get the people in who are just Destiny for life, and then that would be it. There was nobody else coming in. It's just Destiny. They eat, sleep, breathe Destiny, and that's it. And that was everyone coming in. And don't get me wrong, it's a great community, but I like a little bit of variation. And if you just focus on the gameplay, then you don't get that. So what I started focusing on was, actually, it was almost a year ago now when I decided, okay, I need to take a completely different route. I need to take this seriously. I started focusing on the entertainment aspect of it, and the game is just there as filler for when I'm not saying something, and that's the way I look at it, right?
Yeah.
So, or it's something for me to base jokes on, whatever. It's something for me to build on. It's not the highlight. I don't like having the game as a highlight, because all of a sudden the game sucks or someone doesn't like it. Well, that's it, right? I have no control over that.
Right. And I'm a variety streamer as well. I also find that, like, there's so many other games out there I want to play, and if you get sucked into just the one MMO, then people are like, hey, why don't you try playing this game? And you're like, I could, but I could also be farming this +4 purple shotgun of boomstickeria, and you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I mean, I am going to get into Destiny 2 again when it comes out, of course, but I'm going to do my best to not make it so that my streams are always a Destiny 2 stream. I'm going to mix it up a little bit, so keep it lively.
See, I think you should go 24/7 Doom 2. That's my opinion.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing. I wrapped Doom in. Oh no! Wait. Yeah, no. Doom. You wrap. How many times could I wrap that in 24 hours? Then, right?
Oh my God.
That's the other part of it.
When I was watching you the other day and you were playing Doom, I'm like, oh God, this is so good. It was so hard for me not to download and install Doom, like that moment, just watching you play it.
Yeah, those classic games are the best. I mean, I was going through my stream library last night, the night before, going, okay, what kind of games do I want to play right now? Which ones do I want to stream over the next week? I kind of try to come up with a plan for the week. Okay, what am I going to do? Because, as you know, I have my mute stream at night where I have no mic, no camera, but I stay extremely interactive in the chat. So I have to pick games that allow me to do that. So I plan out my week. I plan what I'm going to do during my mute stream, what I'm going to do during my morning streams, and then I think a week in advance on my Saturday streams as well. So I was going through my stream library and I'm going, man, I want to play these old games. I got Duke Nukem in here. I got Heretic. I got Doom. I got Wolfenstein 3D. Like, yes.
And you, I have to say, you do a pretty good Duke Nukem impression too, if I recall correctly.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's time to chew ass and kick gum, and I'm all of ass. Mix it up just a little bit.
Well, yeah, actually, new follower to the stream, Doom091.
Thanks for coming by, buddy. You are freaking awesome.
He says, I'm not an object that you guys can just wrap. I think you are. Yeah, well, seeing a lot of familiar faces here. Well, Skipper, someone who I personally host into quite a bit. Sir Mike Knight, fellow Team MZ Streamer of the Week podcast member. Good to see you, Mike. A couple new people, too. The Lightning, welcome aboard. Zale, regular.
Thanks for coming by, buddy.
Yeah. I think you and I have a little bit of a small crossover friend base. I almost said fan base, but really they're friends, aren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Twitch is a community. It's not. There's a strong distinction between YouTube and Twitch. Like YouTube is you have fans. Twitch you have a community. You have a group, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the distinction. I prefer Twitch over YouTube. I have for a long time, but yeah, I still have my YouTube channel that's just kind of there as a placeholder right now.
Well, when I first started before they rolled out the affiliate program, I was multi-streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Beam, which is now Mixer. And without a doubt, the best community was Twitch. So when affiliate came along and they're like, look, if you do affiliate, you can only do Twitch. I was like, well, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, monetization on YouTube right now is absolutely terrible. And I enjoy content creation, but the big thing being I started on YouTube. And the reason I created my Twitch account was actually so I could get the videos from my PlayStation 4, and then I'd download them from Twitch, and I'd do my editing, and then I put them to YouTube because I didn't have a capture card. That was my whole purpose for Twitch for quite a while. And so YouTube was my main focus when I started. And then I started seeing that it's just, YouTube, you get the video up and then you're like, oh, I got a comment and I got a like, yay. Whereas you're streaming, it's like you're interacting with everybody, you're having fun, especially with these newer games that are coming out that really integrate the chat into the game. I mean, there's that Clone Drone in the Danger Zone, which I know you're not a fan of because it really spams the crap out of the chat. You can't have a conversation during that game at all.
That's that robot one that you were playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun because the users are deeply involved in the game, but it takes a whole interaction chat aspect out of it.
Right.
I played another one, when was it? A couple days ago, Immortal Redneck, where they choose your power-ups or anything like that. It's like a Serious Sam clone kind of, but you get scrolls where it's they have multiple choice, 1, 2, or 3. They can give you the scroll that makes it so that you get extra health, one that takes 50% of your health away, and one that trades all your weapons for new ones or takes your weapons away, stuff like that. So the chat can vote on that, and it impacts your gameplay. So those kind of games are absolutely amazing, I think.
Well, I've got one for you if you want. So I just played this one today on stream, and I always get massively positive feedback whenever I do it. It's called Domina. Have you played Domina?
I haven't. I got it given to me. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
I'm telling you,
up this Saturday.
You let your viewers know you're going to be playing that. It is a crazy amount and it's just enough interaction with chat where they're constantly involved. Like anytime there's a battle, they get to cheer for you or boo you. And if they're talking in your chat where they're like saying, "Hey, Crash, how's it going, buddy?" The next time you either fight someone or the next gladiator you get or the next they'll be named after the person in chat, which is just awesome because then they're like, "Oh, use me, send me into battle." It's a lot of fun.
Just since we got a little bit of lag here as well, we're looking back a little bit. I see the chat is really on board with the YouTube is the demon kind of thing, right? And big YouTubers are getting hit hard. I noticed that some of the big YouTubers now are really hitting Twitch hard, doing live streaming, right? Like just look up Boogie2988. He's always had Twitch for a while, but look at his followers in the last little bit, right? Check out his social blade. See what's happening with that. Same with all the big YouTubers. They're coming over to Twitch. But I think the way Twitch is right now, the way they have it set up, is there's still enough love for the smaller streamers because there's the exposure and the auto follow based on your recommendations and all that stuff. I think lots of people complain about that, but that's why would you complain about that? I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, it's called onboarding, by the way.
Onboarding. Onboarding. But yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea because the way it was before, without the onboarding, you have the big streamers with a snowball effect, right? Like they'd always be at the top, so they get more, and the guys at the very bottom, unless someone said, I want to pick out the guy with 0 views, all the way to the bottom. You're either the top or the bottom, the middle. I mean, you're never getting picked in the middle, very rarely anyway. So this onboarding program, I think, is really great, and that's another reason why networking is so freaking important. Is because if you're in that middle of the pack, it's so hard to get any exposure at all, right? So I mean, networking, whether it's with a team, with yourself, I think teams are great. There's people that think they're terrible. the teams have their purpose, right? So,
well, I've tried to explain to several of my people who've watched and several of my friends who stream how the onboarding works, and they're like, I'm getting all these bot follows lately, and I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're real people. They're like, no, I don't think so. They've only got like 5 people they're following. I'm like, no, I know, it's confusing, but no, they're real people. Don't overlook them just because all of a sudden you're getting follows and they're not in your chat and they're not talking to you, because you never know. Every single one of those people that gets onboarded might tune in right away. And I've been getting like 1 or 2 people a day who they get onboarded and they're like, hey, what's your stream about? And that's great. It's great to get those new people that's just sort of, they're just thrust into your stream and they don't know you, but they want to.
Yeah, well, I mean, last night is an example of just complete randomness, but it's not with the onboarding. It was something else completely. I made a Twitch header template and put it on Reddit a year ago. The guy who got this template off of me dropped a host bomb on me last night. He goes, I saw you on Reddit a year ago. I used your template and I see you're live, so I dropped a host. I'm like, sweet. I mean, it can come out of nowhere, but I mean, it's something where,
Yeah. That is
get out there kind of thing. And I'm just looking at the chat right here. Well, she doing lightning. What do you guys think? Maybe I should do Domina this weekend, eh? This Saturday,
yes,
gonna be Domina.
Yes, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I think you should. Here's the thing: have fun with it. Make sure you put it on the easiest setting because it's brutally hard. And then there's one other little thing in the options. When you first go to set up the Twitch integration, that's pretty simple. But then you have to go into your chat and type in like a random string that it gives you in order to connect them. But it's fun. You'll like it. Yes, Lassane, his fellow streamer, is addicted. She actually got the game because she was watching me play it and she was talking about her stream and how much she loved it. And then a viewer gifted it to her on Steam, and then she ended up beating the game on stream before me.
Oh wow! Oh, getting back to what Geek mentioned there, you never know who's watching. That's absolutely true. I was streaming Destiny one time, and this was still my old setup. This is when I was, I don't know, this must have been December, January, something like that. And the chat it was going kind of slow then. I was just kind of starting to take off around this time last year. And then someone comes in the chat called She Snaps. And I go, well, okay, and starts talking and whatnot, interacting. Okay, cool. That's a cool viewer. Didn't realize that she's one of the top Destiny partnered streamers. She hangs out with Professor Broman, Gathalion, T-Rex, stuff like that, right? And she came to my stream. And so you never know who's going to show up, and you never know if they're going to say anything. And so just to build on what you're saying there, Geek, always act like there's 2,000 people there and always put on a show no matter who's watching. And I always say hide the viewer count. Just, you never know. Always just be on. You have to be.
I love that concept. That's something that I have started doing myself. Back when I really first started doing this, I would hide the viewer count because it was depressing. Like I'd be like, oh, I got no one watching. Well, I have like one person watching and I know it's my account watching the stream. But then when I started getting more and more people watching, where I would get to 5 or 6 people that were on every stream, I started hiding it because I would get upset if that number would go like 7, 8, 5. Like, I'd be like, oh, where'd they go? So I just hide it now. I look sometimes if I'm about to go AFK, I'll say, let's see how many people are here. And then when I get back from the bathroom break or whatever, I'm like, let's see how many people are still here. But other than that, I don't mess with it. It's not worth looking at. I think you're absolutely right. But you've been mentioning community a lot, and we're both very active in the Team MZ team, which I love. I know you love. We're both a big part of. But one of the things about Team MZ is you almost have to create your own little smaller community inside it because there's just so many people in Team MZ. It's impossible to know everyone, right?
Well, the big thing is that everyone thinks that Team MZ is the solution. It's not. It's a stepping stone. It's to help you get there. And the other misconception is that you take a step on the stepping stone and then you leave it behind. You don't have to. Why would you leave behind a community of great people? I mean, you ditch the name. The true supporters are going to be there. Yada yada yada, all that stuff. But why leave it behind? I don't understand that, right? Unless there's a real conflict in opinion, right?
Right.
But there's so many people in there. There's so many opinions. I don't see how there can be a conflict with the whole thing. But I've been with Team MZ since almost the very beginning, and Team MZ has helped build my community.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's about Team MZ and mostly streaming groups are not about getting you your community and whatnot. What they are is it's a massive ballroom, and you're invited in, and you have to go and meet people. That's what it is. It's not something where it's like, hey, here's 100,000 people that are going to say hi to you. It's there's 100,000 people. Go do something with them. That's what it is.
I got to be honest. I have on more than one occasion been like, geez, who am I going to have on my podcast next Monday? And then I just go into the Team MZ podcast and I just start watching people talk. And then I'm like, let me see what that person's stream looks like. And then I'll go check out their stream. And if they're not live, I'll check out their VODs. And I'll be like, ooh, I like them. And then I'll just message them, hey, do you want to be on a podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, is that abusing Team MZ? No, I don't think so. It's networking, right?
That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
That's the purpose. I mean, it's not these amazing. So pretty much everyone, not everyone, but pretty much everyone I know, I've met through the team, and they're amazing people. Like I keep saying it. I am very grateful for the amazing community that I have. The people the regulars that come to my streams, I go to their streams, and it's just an amazing group. I couldn't ask for better people, right? So let's see, catch up on the chat a little bit here.
Yeah,
pay attention to too much.
Well, I kind of keep one eye on it and sort of chit chat a little. But the reason I brought that up too is you and I have, and it seems like we sort of did this at the same time. At least you messaged me about the Crash Pad about a few weeks after I had started the Proper Nerds community. So we're doing a very, what do you call it, parallel thing. Yeah. But we don't need to talk about the Proper Nerds. Anyone who's here knows about the Proper Nerds. You can find the Discord down below. It's got its own community. It's a fantastic place. But what I really want to hear about is I want to hear about the Crash Pad.
Same kind of thing. Basically, the Crash Pad, I've, as you know, I've been with Team MZ for a long time. Well, in terms of how long Team MZ's been around. And there's things that I like about it and things that I'm not fond of. But I mean that's not anyone's fault at all. It's just because of sure, yeah, it's just the way it is. I mean, we have 5,000-ish members, and it exploded so fast. I mean, we're working so hard to try to make sense of this. It blew up so fast. We're trying to pick up the pieces and make it go together really well. And I think we're making some progress. But basically, the way I have Crash Pad is it's just a come and go thing. It's a supplement to Team MZ, something where it's going into Team MZ. It might be daunting for anyone who's just getting into streaming who has like 2 viewers. It's that their bot and their mom or something like that, right? So going into a group with 5,000, all of a sudden it's like, oh my god. So I made Crash Pad as more kind of a smaller community where people can come in who are just starting out, and they can do one-on-one with some of the more experienced members, right? A base of experienced members, but also just for a place for cool people to hang out and do your own thing. There's no official roster or anything like that. If you want to only use the hashtag on Twitter, go ahead and only use the hashtag. If you only want to use the Discord, only use the Discord. If you only want to use the Twitch community, only use that. Or if you just want to say Crash Pad every 32 days, go ahead and do it. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. Just don't be a dick about it. That's it.
Yeah. So. It's been a long time since I looked at my rules, but I think my rules for my Twitch are basically, no politics, no religion, don't be a dick, like just act like an adult. I think that's literally my rules. Just act like an adult. Don't be a dick. I feel like 99% of people who you're gonna run into, they just want to do their thing and have fun and meet people and so on and so forth. They don't, no one really wants to be but at the same time, no one wants to be told a ton of rules. No one wants to be told, hey, if you show up to my channel, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, got it.
Yeah, right, James? Right? It's not that hard to not be one. You would think anyways, right?
I think it's harder to be a dick. Like, dude, oh my god, some of these trolls you see on Twitch. Like,
you have to put a ton of effort in. Why don't you put a ton of effort into being positive and building your community, right? Like, there's one troll that that was after me for a while. He thought that I was trying to attack him. I honestly didn't care about him. I thought he fell off the face of the earth. Like, I didn't care. But he still had it in his head that I'm out to get him. So he kept trying to get me banned from Twitter and Twitch and everything like that. And the reason he got upset at me was because he was a part of Team MZ, and he would complain that he never ever got support. And so in a DM, I said, dude, if you want support, you have to get known. You have to get out there. You have to support others. I'm looking at your Twitter feed. It's all about you. You have not interacted with anybody else. Nobody knows you exist. Why are they going to support you? Get out there. Get to know people. I did this in a DM first, and no response. So he's complaining some more online on Twitter and complaining to MZ, to MZ's tweets. And I go, dude, seriously, if you want support, give support, interact, get out there. Does it again. I said, dude, I told you yesterday to do this. What the hell's your problem, man? If you want support, you have to give it. And then at that point, it's like, you're picking on me. You're a bully. And it's like, oh, for crying out loud. But ever since then, he now pays more attention to the Team MZ hashtag than he ever did when he was a part of the team, just so he can troll.
Right.
It's like, why would you not put that effort in to grow instead? And he actually, it's funny. I don't know if you know about that troll Twitter shit streamers say. Wait,
can I just interrupt you for 1 second? I just got to be honest. Just before we move past it, if you do not base your opinion of me based on my Twitter. I'm on my Twitter for roughly 10 seconds a day, and that's going live with my Twitch, and that's dude.
But you don't complain about support on your Twitter. That's the thing. You don't complain that was the thing. In Team MZ and my view, it's my personal view as well. If you are going to complain about people not supporting you on Twitter, maybe you should do something about it on Twitter as well. But if you do minimal and you expect minimal, that's perfectly fine, right?
Well, I give my support on Twitch. Like, I'm always popping in and hosting and saying hello to other people, and sometimes I'll just click on the Team MZ, seeing who's live, go to the person who has 0 or 1 viewer and just pop in and be like, Team MZ support, how's it going? And just chat with them for 5 minutes. Like, I can't do the Twitter. I'm sorry, I got into it too late. I'm gonna be 40 years old this year. I'm too cranky and old, and I'm gonna shake my. Do you see this? This is because of arthritis. I have this on my elbow because my arthritis is acting up. So
it's terrible. It's so funny.
I know, it's fine.
Geek has it right there. Desk plan. Support others, but support yourself. Get to know people. Make friends. Literally 90% of networking on Twitch is making friends. Absolutely right. I know. I read an article a few months ago, and this is one thing that kind of inspired me as well. There was a girl that was very active in a whole bunch of streams. She was not a streamer, but very active in a whole bunch of streams. And then one day she decided to start streaming. She had, I forget what it was. It was a ridiculous amount of followers just because she made so many friends in other people's streams. Within a couple months, she was partnered. I guess just because of the networking. That's how important networking is. Someone who's never streamed and then within a couple months become a partner, it's all because they put the time into networking and getting to know people.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, so James Anarchy, new friend that I just made today, says, as a new Twitcher, I figure to get followers, you must be a follower. I think that is for the most part true. Like, if you look at my numbers, I'm about 3 to 1 in terms of followers to people I follow, but that's because sometimes I'll pop in, and if someone's not very engaging, I'm like, okay, support, hey, how's it going? And then I'm like, well, I'm not going to follow because they're not paying attention, but I mean, just whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to, it's not just about following and refollowing. It's about making those connections. And like, some people hate the term follow for follow. They prefer support for support. You come by my channel and say hi and stop by and talk to me while I'm playing, and I'll try to do the same to you. That's where it's at. It's really supporting each other.
Yeah, that's it. Follow for follow. Empty follows mean nothing. Exactly, well, Skipper. Your follow count means absolutely nothing. It's people coming by in the stream, right? I've seen some partnered streamers that on a regular basis have like 2, 3, 4, 5 viewers. It's like, really, you're a partnered streamer and you have that? And I'm going, okay, well, I'm pushing for partner then. But that's the thing. Like they'll have 5, 10 times, 20 times the followers I do, and they'll have the same number or less viewers sometimes.
Dude,
so
I was in a professional, like, this is like a pro player, Hearthstone player's stream the other day. They had like 850,000 followers and like 7 people in chat. I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, how does that happen that you build up so many people that think that you're worth watching, but you're not retaining them? Like, that they don't ever come back. That's bizarre to me.
No, that's extremely. But even if you just say stop by once a month, but absolutely. What I like to do is if I have spare time, which I don't have a lot of, but the guys that I know, the people that I know on Twitch and within the team and whatnot, I try to support them. But every once in a while, I want to stop in and I want to see some of the partnered streamers. And I want to see, okay, what are these partnered streamers doing? What do I have to do to kind of get to their status, right? Like, I'm not going to say their streaming level, because I've seen some streamers where they're just like this the entire game.
Yeah.
Looking down at the stream, you never see their face, and so I want to see the ones that are very successful, the ones where the chat's just constantly scrolling. I go, what are you doing? What are you doing to get people involved? And so I try to take it a little bit from everybody and see what's going on, right? Like I said, there's some partner streamers that are amazing, some that are just, in my opinion, garbage. There's affiliated streamers that are amazing, some that are garbage, and normal streamers that are amazing and some that are garbage. I mean, definitely don't want to cut out certain people because of where they sit on the Twitch tree, we'll call it, right? But I try to look at everybody, but partner streamers I try to look at to see, okay, what are they doing to be in that partner position, and see if I can learn anything from them, or even just people who aren't partner but have been doing it for 5 years and they have an idea of, okay, how does this work, right? I've only been doing it, seriously for about a year now, so.
Well, I started in December. I joined Team MZ in January, and I know that I made a couple real big mistakes when I first got going. And the one mistake that I avoided was when I had my first real conflict with people in Team MZ, I almost was like, screw this, and I left. And I probably would have been that bitter, sour grapes guy on Twitch that you mentioned, because I could feel, I was like, this really bothered me. I can either just let it go and not worry about it, or I can like, I hate you. And I decided I don't have time and energy to be the I hate you guy. And oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't. Because, whenever you have... Okay, so I have a theory. My theory is you take any group of people. You could be talking about a nation. You could be talking about a job. You could be talking about a specific religion. You could be talking about a Twitch stream, right? Mm-hmm. Any specific group of people, 95% of those people are going to be cool, and those other 5% of the people you might have a problem with it, and then 1% of those 5, are just going to be dicks that you're just going to hate.
Yeah, they're permadicks. There's just some people out there who want to watch the world burn. Simple as that.
Yeah, and even if it's not that case, it's just that your personality and their personality don't get along, so you're always going to butt heads, and you have to just let it go, Yeah. It's a big thing.
Cue the Frozen scene right now. Let it go.
Listen, I already have one clip on my channel that's like massively popular of a podcast guest singing "Let It Go," so we'll
let that one go.
Yeah, we'll hold off on the sing-alongs tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, pass.
Yeah. Hey. So this month I had put up as my monthly donation goal, and I always try to keep them relatively simple. So it was $75 for Affinity Photo Editor and 1 or 2 other little things. Yep. I had some very generous friends who stopped by. I hit my goal on the first day, I purchased Affinity Photo Editor on your recommendation.
Oh yeah, I love it. I've been doing graphics for quite a while, and I've been using A mix of everything. I used GIMP. Excuse me. GIMP just it's yeah. It works in a pinch if you don't want to pay a dime, but it's worth every penny. And then
Yeah.
I've used Photoshop, which is a great tool, but I mean, I absolutely hate with a passion the subscription style platform, right? I absolutely hate that. I just want to buy a copy of the program, be good until next version kind of thing. And that's where Affinity comes in. Affinity does pretty much everything that Photoshop does. The only thing that I found that it hasn't been able to do that Photoshop does is easy 3D text. But you can see on my channel art right now, I did kind of a 3D look, and what you have to do is you just do it manually instead, right? So you drag a shadow or you drag lines instead, and you fill it and you do all that. But I did that manually. Basically, I think it's a great program. And the reason I got it was because one, the subscription service, but also two, the fact that started out as a Mac program. When I do my creative stuff, most of it is on my Mac. Like right now, I'm on my streaming PC.
Oh.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. This is over. No, for design work, seriously, Mac, I think is the best. Everything just runs so smooth on Mac. I use Final Cut Pro. I use Affinity. I use Motion 5. Everything Mac-based. And my 2-year-old Mac outperforms my beastly streaming rig on so many things. Just because everything is so optimized for it. Mm-hmm. But anyways, back to Affinity. The reason I got Affinity was because it was Mac-based, and then it was also, just with this version, they made it PC-based as well. So I'm able to use it on my streaming PC. I do my main work, and it runs much smoother on my 2-year-old Mac. But then I'm able to actually stream with the same files, same resources, everything, and do creative streams without a whole bunch of stuff changing around and exporting all that garbage. So,
and I love watching your creative streams. If any, I know some people tune in. Literally, I will only see certain people tune in. Like, I won't see them for a month, and then I'm doing a creative stream, and they're on instantly. I'm like, how? Like, do you see me? Do you have me notified, but you only tune in when I'm doing creative? And that's all I do creative is the Photoshoppery. But yeah, some people love those creative streams, and I have to say, Crash is very entertaining to watch when he does the creative. I call it Photoshoppery, even though it's Affinity, because what?
Hey, it's like Kleenex, man. It's not a Kleenex; it's a tissue, but everyone calls it Kleenex, right? So it's the same thing. You photoshopped something, it's the term.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can't thank you enough for turning me on. I did about a 90-minute stream on Saturday, and I normally take the weekends off. Yeah. I found that I really had to set and stick to a schedule, or I was just all over the place. And so I take the weekends off. But I did about a 90-minute this weekend just to play with it, because I installed it on Saturday, and I was going to boot it up and start playing with it. And I'm like, why not just go live, right?
Yep.
Like, yeah, and...
Yesterday, I mean, I wasn't going to stream yesterday because normally Sundays I don't stream at all. It's Monday through Friday I'll do mornings and nights, and then Saturday during the day, and then I take Sunday off, and on Monday morning I take off as well. Sunday is my not do anything related to this day. It's supposed to be. But I was doing some graphics work that I had to catch up on, and I went, oh, why don't I just do it on stream? And Welsh Skipper, we got Welsh Skipper's overlay package done. We have Dune 1989. I have to get an overlay for him. He won that in a giveaway. We have panels for the Lightling that I'm going to be doing as well. That was another giveaway. We have Southern Bros Gaming. That was another giveaway, or actually that was a redemption of channel art package from the currency on my stream. And I have about 6 or 7 paid orders that I have to get done as well. So,
sounds like a busy man, I'll tell you. You mentioned Southern Brothers Gaming. The only time I ever did a really long stream, I tend to keep to about 4 or 5 hours for my streams because, as I mentioned, arthritis. I get into a lot of pain if I sit for too long. But the longest stream I ever did was just shy of 9.5 hours, and it was. It was for Team Malin. I'm sure you remember that back.
Yeah.
So I did a 9.5 hour stream for the Team Malin charity, and during it I got this was back when I think I had like 200 followers, right?
Yeah.
And I got hosted with 670 viewers from like a big streamer, like dropped a host bomb on me, and like I was like, and I wanted to panic and like, I went from 2 viewers in my channel, one of which was me, to 670 in a heartbeat, and I was like, real quick, I'm doing charity for Team Melee before anyone goes anywhere.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but after that, I was ruined for like the next 2 days. I could barely move off my couch. So I learned I got to keep my streams to 4 or 5 hours max. And
that's one thing I want to touch on. Lots of people don't realize, like, if they aren't streamers or they're just getting into it, they don't realize how much it freaking drains you. It is so draining. I know with mine, after I'm done my stream, I just hit stop and I go, and that's it. I'm so burnt out. It's just, and that's why I like my mute streams on weekday nights. I don't have the camera on, I don't have the mic on, I interact with chat, and they are my relaxing streams. They're where I just hang out with the chat, I chat with them, I play a video game while I chat with them, and we'll do little bets here and there, but it's a nice relaxing stream. When I have the camera on, it's, hi everybody, I gotta go, how's it going? I hope you're having a great time. How about some sandwiches? I love sandwiches. You like sandwiches? They're 30, you guys are awesome. Yes! Something like that, right? So...
I think my first time I ever viewed you, this was way back. I want to say February or March or something, and you were playing like Ghost Recon or something, and I tuned in and you had no one in your stream, and I think that's actually why, because I like to, like I said, I like to go to Team MZ, see who's online, and go to the bottom and see who's got like one viewer or no. And you had like, I think one person, but they were asleep already, and so I came in and your rules said, like, I think your rules at the time were like, be cool, no stealing my sandwiches. So I just walked in and I said, I steal all of your sandwiches. And you're like, no! No stealing my sandwiches. What are you doing? Yes.
Yeah, so that's actually one thing I want to touch on as well. So many people, if you don't mind, so many people complain about the viewers going, well, I have like 200 followers, why do I only have like one viewer? And they don't realize it. I tell them every single time, go find one of the top partnered streamers out there. Any partnered streamer right now, go look at how many viewers they have and look at their followers. Chances are is less than 1% of their follower base is a viewer right now. If you're 100 followers, what's 1%? What's less than 1% of that, right? Yeah. So you got to put it into perspective here. There is a kind of a ratio that's kind of the norm.
And
exactly, Welsh.
Yes, well, Skipper, you're lucky if you get 1% of your followers watching, and I think that has been a metric in my head. Someone told me 0.5%, half of 1%.
That is more like it, yeah. But I mean, it's what you'll get now with some of the hosts and the lurks and whatnot. You'll get up to that 1%, but 5% or less, are gonna be active, right? Or 0.5%, I should say, 0.5% or less. Count on that being active.
But I actually use that as a metric for those times when I do look at my viewer count and I think to myself, oh, all right, I'm approaching 1,200 viewers and I've got 13 people in chat. So I must be doing pretty good. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I must be doing okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you know what? The other thing is, what the heck else is going on? If you're streaming during Super Bowl, right? You gotta look at what else is going on, right? I mentioned something in my Discord, and I mentioned in the Team MZ Discord as well, with a recent fight that went on too, right? Like, hey guys, there's a fight. Don't expect to get your normal viewers during the fight. There's gonna be people watching it. So.
Yeah, 26 followers and 10 viewers. That's nice. The Lightling. I want to say Lightning, but it's Lightling. Yeah, I was streaming that day, and people just kept talking about the fight. I'm like, look, I can do nothing but be honest. I don't give a shit about the fight. If that bothers you, I'm sorry. I'm going to play some video. Oh, the eclipse, too. When the eclipse happened, I was streaming. People were like, are you going to go out and see the eclipse? We're going to take a break for the eclipse? I just put a picture of an eclipse behind my head. I go, there. Eclipse.
Wait. Just do this.
Done. Yeah. It's an eclipse. Yeah. But at the same time, I noticed, like, oh, okay, I've only got, like, 9 people hanging out. That's fine. I understand people want to go outside and look into a shoebox. You know, if you've never seen an eclipse before, go. I told people, I said, if you've never seen an eclipse before and you've got the glasses or you've got the eclipse box, go do it. It's awesome. Everyone should see an eclipse once in their life. However, once you've seen it, you've seen it. And I'm old enough that I've seen eclipses before.
Yeah. Let's see, it annoyed the crap out of me because... Oh, yeah, that's old news for you, isn't it, Geek? Eclipse annoyed the crap out of me because my dad worked for NASA. I lived through that stuff growing up, yeah. It's all in perspective, right? It's all in perspective.
Hold on, let me get my violin out and play a sad tune for Geekonomicon, whose dad was a rocket scientist. What are you, some kind of rocket scientist? No, but my dad is.
Exactly. But wait. I always say, NASA needs janitors. You
That's
never
true.
know, right?
Actually,
I'm not saying anything to you, Geek, but hey, NASA needs janitors. You could be the guy who empties the trash every day. I'm like, yeah, see this name badge? Freaking NASA. Right here.
NASA, dude. I hand to God, my local. So I live in a tiny little cow town in the Finger Lakes of New York State. Just tiny little town, right? And during the summer, our population like quintuples from all the, vacationers that come into town. But the local hardware store in town, one of the guys who works there used to be a rocket scientist at NASA, and he gave me the official title once. He was like, "Oh, well, no, not a rocket scientist. I was a engineer." And I'm like, "Right, rocket scientist, got it."
You're a rocket surgeon.
Yeah. And I'm like, "So how'd you go from rocket scientist to a clerk at an Ace hardware store in this tiny little town?" He goes, "Oh, this is my retirement." Yeah.
Well, yeah, chill out, right? I mean, it's a change of pace, right? I mean, same with my full-time job. I used to be, I started in the trades, and then I went into management, and I like doing stuff with my hands now and then just to get back to it, right? Like it's nice to take a step back.
Yeah, I just want to address something that Lightling said too. I know some of the weren't viewers, but lurkers. Dude, I love my lurkers. I have at least 3 people who are regular lurkers on my channel. They pop in, they're like, "What's up, Rhev? Lurk work support." And sometimes that's all they say all day, but they're in there for the whole 4 hours, and you need to look at that the way it is. That's a massive compliment that they want you on in the background. They can't interact, but they like just alt-tabbing over and checking out what you're doing for 5 minutes, in between coding or whatever else. That is a
phone in, and all of a sudden you say their name, and it's like, what? You say my name, right?
Yeah.
They're there. They're yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I'm happy for every single ounce of support I get.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I feel I don't deserve any of it. So everything I get, I am extremely grateful for. Like I was never raised with the mindset, you deserve this. It's like, no, you work your ass off and you might get something, right? And so that's where I stand with that. So every single little thing I get, I am so grateful for. I'm so amazed that there's this platform for us to do this on, and it's a free platform. Like
free.
People complain, like, yeah, it's free, and people were complaining about Twitch, going, Twitch sucks. I mean, all of a sudden, like, Twitch is down. I can't do this, and I can't do this. And then people on Twitter, like partnered streamers, going, "Well, are you going to help me with my revenue, Twitch?" Like, seriously, they're providing a free service to you, and you're complaining about it. Like,
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. You don't do it right now. All right. After the end of the stream, I recommend everyone go to YouTube and type in Louis C.K. Everything's amazing and nobody's happy. If you haven't seen, he was on, I don't remember, either Conan or Late Night or one of those things, and he talks about how amazing the world is that we live in, and how everyone's just like, "This sucks." He's like, "Dude, why is everyone like that?" He's like, "We're on an airplane flying, and this guy's complaining about his tray table." It's like, don't you see the bigger picture here? And I every time I start to try to get upset with the little things, I just remember that. I'm like, dude, I live in a beautiful house. I have a beautiful wife. I've got, a gaming computer. I've got, job. I got money in my pocket. I've got heat in the winter. I've got air conditioning in the summer. Like, everything is amazing. Thanks, Welsh.
Welsh Skippers.
Welsh Skipper is one of my regular auto hosts that I host into. I love Welsh Skipper.
Welsh is awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask one thing here. I know a bunch of you guys are streamers, but this is something I do every single time I stream. I hope you don't mind that I do it. Guys, if you're a streamer, drop a kappa in the chat. Drop a kappa in the chat if you're a streamer, and check out everyone who drops a kappa. Just open up their tab in the background for now. Check out their VODs later. If you like them, drop a follow.
Yeah.
So just go like this. Drop a kappa, and and open up a tab for everyone who drops a kappa, and check it out later.
You know, what I always do is anytime anyone follows me, my bot automatically says, please let me know if you're a streamer. I will refollow you and check you out if you're live. I go out of the way to make sure that I'm, offering that support back. I want everyone to know, like, hey, I'm not the kind of guy that sits there and goes, follow me, blah, blah, blah. I want to know if you're a streamer, because if you're here checking out my channel, I want to check you out too. I want to see what you've got going on. I mean, that's just me. And one other thing, since Doom 1989 followed me before the podcast went live, I usually only do this when someone follows me while I'm live and I know and they're in chat, because with the onboarding, there's so many times you get follows that are not in chat. But Doom 1989, sir, you get the big ups. Whoop whoop! Thank you very much.
1989 is awesome. The guy is super supportive, just a super great guy. I mean, the Lightning Welsh Skipper, I know them. They're always around. They're super supportive. Who else has been in there? James, I don't know you, but I am going to check out your channel for sure, buddy. I have your tab open. I'm going to check it out after the podcast here. And it's like I said, it's part of a community that's just they're absolutely amazing.
And Igny Knox, I just call him Knox. Igny Knox is one of our newest friends to the Proper Nerds community. We just got to know him over the last few weeks, and we just made him one of our featured streamers on the Proper Nerds, so he's awesome. He plays a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. Again, going back to what we were saying about the MMO addiction, and how Oh, yes! Inject it right in! Get that MMO right in there. Yeah, Knox is way easier. Dude,
Knox. There you go, Knox.
Yeah. I told you, though. I told you, man. I told you at the beginning. I'm going to look down at the clock and be like, oh, shit. We're almost out of... We got like 8 minutes left. And there was a couple things I wanted to hit that we didn't. Real quick, the hat. You're Canadian, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what team is that? Is that the Maple Leafs?
This is the Jays.
The Jays, okay. I knew it was Canadian, obviously.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the Jays. I got the hat because my thing, ever since my very first stream with the camera on, it was a red hat. That was it. That was the reason. And I always wear a hat during my streams. I always do. That's what I do. And I went, okay, we were actually in Toronto one time, and I go, hey, there's a nice red hat with a maple leaf on it. Sold. That's Blue Jays. I don't care. It's a red hat with a maple leaf. Sold. It's a hat I wear now when I stream. This is my streaming hat. I don't wear it anywhere else. When I'm not streaming, it's hanging on my mic boom. So it does not leave my desk.
Well, I've just recently started losing hair in the last few months. Like right up here, it's starting to get a little thin. And I thought to myself, maybe I should start wearing a hat. Nah, screw it. What do I care? If I go bald, I'm not that vain. I don't know if you know this, though, but I'm from Buffalo, New York, which is like right on the border of Canada. So I grew up sucking down Tim Hortons coffee, and yeah, I love my Timmy Hose. Wait, there was one other thing, and now I can't remember what it is. God bless it. You think I would make notes and keep a list of the things I want to talk about, but I didn't. I forgot. Well, it's like Crash's switch that he puts on to get hyped. Is that it? You put it on, are you like, ho hum, I believe it is time to...
Boy, this day's going slow. Put the head on. Hello, Crash here!
Yes, it's like your power up. It's like you're like...
You know, the scene in Star Wars where it's Darth Vader, right? It's like this.
Yes, slay, Crash. I love it.
Popcorn Puffy, welcome to the stream. And
Popcorn Puffy, by the way,
Yeah.
Team MZ Streamer of the Week.
Absolutely. Popcorn Puppy, Team NC Streamer of the Week. Guys, go check him out.
Yes, absolutely. Who we'll be talking with on the Streamer of the Week podcast on Friday. I've already got his Skype info, so I know we're good. And he's been messaging me. He's all excited. He's like, "Can I start telling people about Friday?" I'm like, "Yes, yes."
Hype it up. Go ahead, Buffy. Hike it up.
Yes. So I checked out his stream. He was playing some Assassin's Creed. Good times.
Right.
Good times. Oh boy.
Berg, sucking down the Tim Hortons coffee. Yes, coffee.
Myris
Welcome.
is one of my. Oh no, Myris is my first subscriber. When I got affiliate, like literally, I went on to someone else's stream and I was like, "Oh, Lassane, I'm so excited! I got affiliate." And Myris is like, "Oh, congratulations!" And then like 2 seconds later, and I had OBS up. I get the notification that someone is subscribed. I'm like, "All right." Myris is a good guy.
You have. I know we're running out of time, but really quick, did you use Game Wisp before? No, you didn't.
Nah.
I did, and I remember I had. Everything is awesome. That for the longest time has been my subscriber song. And so I'm playing, all of a sudden, it's like I had Game Wisp going for like 3 or 4 months. I'm like, all of a sudden this fires up, what the hell's that sound? Holy crap, I got a subscriber! It's like, and then I have a dedicated thank you screen, thanks for the support screen, that comes up as well, or that I hotkey in as soon as that happens. And yeah, so I mean, super grateful that we have that ability. And now with Twitch Prime, I mean, it's people complain that these Twitch Prime people, they go from person to person. I'm going, so they chose you out of everybody for 1 month. Why are you complaining?
Right, like even if you only get them for a month, that means they like you enough that they were there for a month.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like someone coming up to you on the street and going, "Hey, I know I could come to you every single month and give you $5, but I got $5 in my hand right now. I'm never going to give you $5 again. Will you take it?" "No, screw you. I want it every month." "No, you're going to take it. You're going to be grateful for it." You're like, "Dude, thank you so much."
Yeah. I think that it's a larger problem that we could go into at a later date, but it's just in the next 3 minutes. We really don't have enough time to discuss.
No.
People need to be a little more grateful, and just I'll tell you, me personally, dude, I do this because I grew up in the age where video games were something you did sitting on your couch, playing with your friends, playing GoldenEye. "Oh, don't look at my corner of the screen," and I miss that. And now that I've been streaming since December, I can't play video games unless I'm streaming.
Boring. It gets kind of boring, doesn't it?
You're like, "This game sucks," and then you realize, no, it's not the game that sucks. It's the fact that I'm just sitting here like this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you're just brain off. And yeah.
Yeah.
But just quickly, my game that was the couch one, Turtles in Time.
Oh.
Yes. I love that one.
All right. I mean, hey, everyone has their games that they love. For me, it was always Mario Kart was a big gamer. I mean, when it started, it was. You have to understand too. I'm a little bit older than you. For me, video games started in the arcade. So you would go and pump quarters in and play Street Fighter in the arcade and those games. Yeah. And then when I finally got a Nintendo Entertainment System, it was Super Mario Brothers, where, okay, I'm Luigi, you're Mario, and you take your turns. And it was just, I didn't play a lot of video games that when I was a kid that weren't social, in some way or another. I mean, you can play Super Mario Brothers by yourself, but it's a lot more fun to play it with other people, if that makes sense. And I feel the same way about Twitch. But listen, let me just give another quick shout out. If you have not already followed out Crash Koeck.
It's all good.
Sorry. Check him out. He has his own Discord community. It's a wonderful thing called the Crash Pad. You should drop in there. I stop in there. I don't say much in there, but I usually pop in about once every 2 or 3 days and just kind of read through what's been said. And
that's the idea. I mean, it's not there to hey, you have to be active here kind of thing. It's like, hey, if you can take something away from this, or if you can help someone has a question and you're able to help them, or if you get some help from it, great. That's why it's there. It's just it's a landing pad, it's a stepping stone, it's a takeoff point, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be a permanent home. You stop in and say hi.
Yep, and as a lot of my viewers know, we do the same thing with the Proper Nerds down below. You can find the link to the Proper Nerds Discord, the Proper Nerds community. It's much like the Crash Pad, so Crash and I, have got kind of a similar thing going on. Brothers, we got that parallel mindset thinking, but absolutely make sure you check out Crash. He is, without a doubt, one of the most entertaining streamers. I love checking him out. Crash, dude, it has been so much fun, and the hour just flew by. But I do like to keep the podcast right to an hour. So hopefully, hopefully you have not checked out my past Rhev's Palavers on YouTube or anything like that. Because what's going to happen next is the most fun part if you don't know what's coming.
Okay, no. Let's do it.
So I always like to end the Rhev's Palaver the simple way. We're going to do this thing, and then we're going to say goodnight to everyone, and then we will drop a host bomb on someone. So if you can, please stick around. We'll find someone to drop a host bomb on. Stick around and go over to their stream and say hello and show them a little love. Show them some Team MZ love. Show them some Dose Rhev love. Show them some Crash Koeck love. And before we go, the last thing we do before we say goodbye is we like to give our guest, Crash, the last word. Crash, what is the last word?
32.
32. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Adios.
All right. That went really well.
32 is it. Yep.